Day 2 of the Sarah Boone trial was the nail in the coffin. The state shows the jury the infamous video of George begging for his life and Sarah laughing at him in the suitcase. Medical examiner also says he has bruises that could be from the baseball bat in the living room. Yet today was not a good day for Sarah. I mean, the jury seeing all this, she is so screwed. Why she would not take a plea deal where she gets out in 6 years is baffling. She's so screwed. Hit subscribe, join the channel membership. Let's go, boys. All right, first look at Sarah Boone, crazy ass.
After that, we go to what's called the internal examination. So that means that we open the body cavities, we remove all of the organs, and dissect all of the organs.
Sounds like she did the autopsy.
So the information I had was that the decedent was with his girlfriend, and at some point in time in the night, he got into a suitcase, which was then zippered shut. At another point at time, I believe she went to bed, and then the next morning discovered that he was still in the suitcase. And I think that was about an 11-hour time frame from the information that I had.
You mentioned asphyxia. Can you explain for us what asphyxia is?
Sure. So asphyxia is a very general term. It would be kind of like saying, I drive a car, right? That's very generic, and we know that there are many different types of cars out there, right? So asphyxia simply means lack of oxygen or inadequate oxygen for an individual.
Bro, this guy's death was so terrible. Imagine being zipped up in a suitcase. Man, I know majority of us can't even fit in one, but helpless you probably feel.
If he had not been in the suitcase, if he had been out of the suitcase, I would not expect that advanced amount of change. It's compatible with him being in that suitcase for a longer period of time. It would have been warmer. And also if he had been, struggling to get himself out, engaging that physical activity, those are things that are going to accelerate or speed up that process. So my findings at the time of the examination are compatible with that 11-hour time period, or, somewhere around there.
Did you note any injuries to the body of George Torres?
Yes.
These injuries that you noted to the body of George Torres, did you document them on what's called a body chart?
Yes, the diagram on a body chart, and we also take pictures as I'm going through my examination.
How is it that you come to the conclusion that these injuries were the result of blunt impacts?
So these are typical wounding patterns for blunt force trauma. And when I say blunt force trauma, that can mean something striking a part of the body, or on the other hand, it can be the body striking an object. And that causes injury to the skin, to the soft tissue, and sometimes the deeper tissues, depending on how severe or how strong that blunt force trauma is.
Are these injuries consistent with a person being struck with a baseball bat?
They could be, yes.
Are they consistent with a person being pushed down a flight of stairs?
They could be, yes.
Hold on. So that's why they point out the baseball bat the first day. There's a baseball bat in the living room. She whacked him with the baseball bat in the suitcase. This lady's an evil little fucking dumbass.
Can you say whether or not these injuries occurred while George Torres was in the suitcase?
No.
Is consistent with them occurring while he was inside the suitcase?
Yes, they could be. These areas are associated with hemorrhage or bleeding into the skeletal muscle, so the deeper tissues, and so that's just indicating more force applied to that area.
Meaning she fucking whacked him with the baseball bat. Cross-examination on the lady that did the autopsy. It's gonna be kind of hard to even cross on this.
And you would agree that's about 3 times the legal limit?
Close, yes.
3 times legal limit is crazy.
And of course it would impair motor skills and potentially loss of balance.
Yes.
Torres, the decedent, stepped into the suitcase under his own power in a game of hide and seek.
That's how it was reported to me, yes.
Do you have any evidence to dispute that?
No.
Now, considering the 3,000 autopsies, how many cases have you ruled the cause of death as positional or postural asphyxia?
A handful of times. It's not very common.
So about 5 times or less?
Yes.
Now, you said Mr. Torres was 5'2" and 103 pounds?
Yes.
Do you know how big the suitcase was that Mr. Torres was in?
I don't have the exact measurements with me.
So if I told you the measurements, you wouldn't know one way or the other what they were?
No, I think they were described to me, and I saw the pictures from the scene, and I was able to review crime scene photos to see what the actual suitcase was like.
But you don't know exactly what the positional component was that caused, or what led you to believe caused his death?
Correct. I mean, based on his stature and what the suitcase was, he would have had to have flexed at the hips and knees to be able to fit into the suitcase.
So based on what you said, you would agree you didn't know how much Mr. Torres would have been able to move and stretch his various extremities inside the suitcase, do you?
No.
He's pointing out stuff she didn't know, trying to poke holes in her autopsy. This is a hard one to fight. This case is terrible for a defense lawyer.
You would agree that his repositioning inside the suitcase would have been easier if he didn't have so much alcohol in his bloodstream?
I don't know that I would agree with that.
What? Did he really just say if he was sober, he'd probably be able to move around in the suitcase? It's a fucking suitcase.
I don't know that I would agree with that.
Well, you said his fine motor skills would be impaired by the alcohol.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you meant his ability to just move.
So reposition himself inside this, that would be limited to some degree by the alcohol he consumed.
It could be. I mean, that's not really a fine motor skill, but
Or the use of his hands to unzip the suitcase would be affected by the alcohol that he had consumed.
sure, that could be.
Unzip it from the inside? How the fuck is he gonna unzip the suitcase?
He's pushing out carbon dioxide. Okay, so again, whatever oxygen is there is most likely diminished because it is an enclosed space. It doesn't have to be no oxygen, but it's decreased from what we would have in a normal room. But every time that he's exhaling, there's more carbon dioxide that's in that space as well. So that displaces any oxygen that might be there too.
Do you know the volume of room air contained in that suitcase?
No.
Do you know how porous the fabric of that suitcase was?
No.
Did you run any tests on the suitcase?
No.
Were you aware that the suitcase, the lock on it or the zipper on it was broken? The pull handles were broken?
Yes, I did know that.
Do you agree if there is a portion of the zipper that's open that air can travel in and out of that space?
Yes.
Bro, he's trying his hardest to create doubt, but it's really hard.
Fair to the jury to say that there were no broken bones.
There were no broken bones.
It would be fair to say that the blunt force injuries on his body that the jury has seen here today did not contribute to the cause of his death.
Not likely.
And I think you didn't put that anywhere in your report.
No. I included it in my report. I did not include it on the death certificate.
As the reason or contributing cause of the death.
Correct.
And if you were to swing that bat and hit somebody's body or hit a suitcase and the blunt force, that would be a linear line across that person.
It could be depending on the position of the body, the position of the suitcase, and the position.
He just said that if you swing a baseball bat and hit someone, the bruising would look like a line of a baseball bat. We all know that's not true. A bruise could be various shapes and sizes. It doesn't really matter the object that was used.
If you had a spasm in that artery, that could nearly totally obstruct the lumen and cause a fatal heart attack, could it not?
It could. It could cause a dysrhythmia, I guess.
I'm sorry?
A dysrhythmia or an abnormal beating of the heart.
But that could kill him.
It could.
The lumen is the inside space of the tubular structure?
Yes.
Of that, and so that was blocked, over 75%.
It was. But there was no evidence of myocardial scarring. So when the vessels become blocked, you prevent blood from getting to the muscle of the heart. So there was no evidence that there was any scarring. There was no evidence that there was anything that happened acutely. When that happens, we can see changes in the actual muscle of the heart. So there were no changes suggestive of that.
Let me ask you.
So is he trying to hint that he just had a heart attack of natural causes? And she's like, no, that didn't happen.
If he would have got out of the suitcase on his own and he would have passed out or fell asleep on the couch, and she would have woken up the next day about that time and came down, and you did this autopsy, would it be fair to say that in your ruling on cause of death, that single vessel coronary artery oscillosclerosis would be your probable cause of death?
It could be, but any sort of injury overrides natural disease if the injury is significant, right? So you don't have to be a perfectly healthy person to have trauma and die. So it's very common that we see people that have injuries for whatever reason.
Why isn't the state objecting for speculation for that question? So this is a digital forensic lady. I would imagine she looked at Sarah Boone's phone, or they shared a phone. Remember, Sarah and George shared a phone. Isn't that weird?
Christmas 2019. It indicates that it's from a contact named Mo. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Then the contents speak for itself. Going down to outgoing instant message at 11:31 p.m. 57 seconds on Christmas 2019. What is the content of that communication?
The content of the message is hide and seek, I shall.
And it's from what is the paren owner? Does that mean it's from the device?
Yes.
What's the content of that text message?
And bless you and all of you too, I'll get rid of him.
And then the next three are also outgoing messages. What do they indicate as far as content?
Then I'll be better, followed by 17169, UG, and 17170, Torres.
This was all planned. She wanted to get rid of him. Is that what I'm hearing? Here's the infamous video of him in the suitcase begging for his life.
For everything you've done to me.
For everything you done to me.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Stupid. That's my name. Don't wear it on.
I can't fucking believe it. Dirty.
Yeah, that's when you do when you shake me.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe it.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Real ransom. Might want to give it for it extra. Good, I got that.
Sarah.
Real ransom.
Oh my god. The suitcase is like thrashing around him. He's trying to get out of it. This is rough.
I can't breathe it.
Oh, that's what I feel like when you cheat on me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Fucking breathe, Sarah.
Yeah. You should probably shut the fuck up.
You should probably shut the fuck. Dude, this lady is so fucked. Why did she not take the plea? I wonder what her dumbass is thinking. Like, damn. Jury seeing all this, I'm so fucked. All right, defense lawyer's cross-examination on this lady.
Did you recall seeing any other name associated with that phone number other than Brian Boone?
Oh my God, he's nitpicking the fact that Brian Boone's email was connected to the phone when clearly it wasn't Brian Boone, her ex-husband, using the phone. It was her. It was her phone. They were separated. They live in different houses. They probably had the same phone plan at one point.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question.
All right, when you did the analysis of this, and you would look for the participants and get that information, match it up with the phone number. Then in certain cases, they will show you the owner name because you said Apple was very detailed in some of their applications. So did you ever see another name associated with this account other than Brian Boone?
There was another iCloud account logged in on the physical phone.
Okay.
But there was no name attached.
There was no name attached. Bless you. You wouldn't be able to tell who actually sent the message on any given time. Is that correct?
No, I'm not a fly on the wall and I can't see who's physically typing out messages.
Thank you, ma'am. No further.
Trying to cast doubt on who was physically typing on the phone. So this is a homicide cold case detective for the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
This is the second part of the interview with Sarah Boone on the scene.
So they're just going to play the audio of the interview with the detective. There's two detectives in there.
So tell me what happens next. You're painting, you're guys are doing this puzzle together, you obviously finished a bottle of wine.
Yes.
Did you have 1 or 2 bottles of wine?
Well, we had one previously that was maybe not even half full.
Okay.
She's saying they were doing a puzzle and having a fun old night, but neighbors say otherwise. Remember, neighbors say they were screaming and fighting that night at like 7 or 8 p.m.
And then, so I didn't zip it up all the way, but I mean, that's where his little fingers were out there and whatever, but still having a good time and whatever. Then I guess I decided to go upstairs and I don't know, I fell asleep. I woke up this morning, again, thought he was downstairs on the laptop looking for a job, as he usually is.
He's where you left him in a suitcase, zipped up, and beat him with a baseball bat.
I took him out, stretched him out, started to do CPR.
A lot of people think that's a lie. She didn't do CPR because I think something on the 911 call indicates that she was like chilling and not really doing CPR. Does anyone believe this story? Like, is there actually people on earth that think they were playing hide and seek? She's on video saying, fuck you. They were fighting on video, drunk. It's over.
A broken suitcase, but...
What do you mean by broken?
It's only got one of these, but because I didn't zip it up all the way, he was doing the...
You mean it doesn't have, like, the pull part?
Correct.
Okay, but
No, it's got, I think it's got a, what do you call it? A paper clip.
Okay, so the zipper to it is missing, like the actual zipper that attaches to it to help you open and close is missing, but you think a paper clip was on it instead?
I don't really know.
You said his fingers were able to stick out?
Yeah, 2 fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm figuring he'll get it, but then I wanted to go upstairs and waited for him, and eventually I guess I fell asleep.
Was any jokes made? Was anything said?
No, nothing negative or anything like, I'm telling you.
Just anything that he said, like...
We were laughing about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I waited for him upstairs.
We were laughing about it. The video says otherwise, fucker.
At that point, I mean, I don't know how often you drink, but would you say that you were under the influence and he was under the influence, or?
Well, I mean, we weren't drunk.
Okay.
We weren't drunk. I mean, we had a handful of glasses throughout the evening.
Weren't drunk, but 3 times the legal limit of driving.
You obtained consent from the defendant in this case?
Yes, on scene to search through her cell phone.
And what time did you become aware of the videos on her cell phone?
So a digital forensic investigator responded out to the scene, and she responded out a little after 7 p.m. And I would assume she probably started doing, whatever she needed to do. And then a short time later, she came over and got my attention and expressed to me that I needed to look at something in her phone.
Here they are buying the wine. So I think this is the interrogation where they confront her with the video. And like, yo, we have this video.
It was a good day. We've had good days lately. Even considering everything that's going on with our jobs and life in general and life.
It was a good day. Yeah, but your neighbors say, y'all were fighting. So it wasn't a good day. It's a lie.
Since the last time he got out of jail, like, we've been good. He's been having his classes and his same probation officer, who's amazing.
She could have a case here if she didn't talk in these interviews and if there was no video. The video is the most damning piece of evidence. If that video didn't exist, she could have a case to act like this was a manslaughter case or something.
He gets belligerently drunk.
I think you get more drunk. She even admitted she finished the whole bottle that day. And her ex-husband also said she drinks a lot.
He came a really long way from where he was in Philadelphia to moving back to here and to dealing with everything else that he's been dealing with. I've really helped him. I bailed him out of jail, 3 times. I've gone to every single hearing and every single arraignment, everything that I did for him. Gone to see all his public defenders, go to the state. I've gone to the state. I did everything for him because I'm trying to help it. And I have. And I hope it. And
he was trying. He was trying.
Crocodile tears. Ain't no tears coming out. She fake crying.
We just don't, I mean, it's unexplainable how he got these injuries, and I have no idea. You were the only one with him.
100% right hand to God. I have no idea how he got them.
You don't know how he got big bruises on him in a suitcase? Giant bruises. It's almost like you used the baseball bat.
Everybody tells me that. All my neighbors told me that. Oh, this rubbish major.
At some point, somebody gets enough, then they have to do something to defend themselves.
I was just asleep, and I don't know if you would like to see it on my phone, or I think.
So they're trying to get it out of her, like, did you finally snap and hit him back, or this time you wanted to end it all because he was abusing you? But she's like, no, I would just flee.
So I have something that I want to show you that we found.
I have something that I want to show you that we found. Gonna get the laptop out. You know, her heart's dropping right now, like, oh shit, what do they have on me? Did I film something drunk, laughing at a man in a suitcase begging for his life?
Do I have to watch this?
Do I have to watch this?
I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it. That's okay.
Well, it's on your phone. You can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on. That's it.
For everything you got to me. For everything you got to me. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's you.
Excuse me. What's my name? Don't wear it up. Yeah, that's when you do me. I don't want to watch that, please.
Last time we talked to you, you said that you put him in the suitcase, you had two fingers hanging out.
I flipped him over. I flipped him over, and that's where it was.
Two different videos and a still picture where, yeah, it shows you flipping him in different positions and him saying that he can't breathe. And you saying, fuck
So
you.
this is upside down. So in order for him to have gotten into it,
It was flipped up.
right, it was flipped up normal.
Yeah.
Like as if you're packing something. So this is upside down.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
Guys, this is killing me right now. Yeah, because you realize you're caught. That's why it's killing you, Sarah. This is really good for the jury to see her reaction. Like, oh, fuck, this is killing me right now. Like, I'm caught.
Closer to your dining room table.
Okay.
Now he's obviously still in there. So he didn't, how did it go from the back to the front?
I flipped it. Okay. My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep.
Well, that's what you did.
So she just admitted to flipping the suitcase while he's in it. And in between it, he's begging for his life on video. So clearly she flipped it on purpose while he's begging for his life, not trying to help him on purpose. Like, this was all intentional.
But why is he saying I can't breathe and why is he pushing on it as if he can't get out?
It doesn't show the hole.
There's no hole. There's no fingers. I don't see his fingers. There's no hole.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
I don't know what you want me to tell you. There's no holes, no fingers poking through. Like she said, that's a lie. All this is a lie.
You're laughing in the beginning and then in the end it sounds kind of like a,
No, it's not malicious.
Oh, saying fuck you.
It's not malicious.
Then what is that?
It's not malicious. He's saying fuck you to him while he's begging for his life, okay?
so it goes from funny to no longer funny.
But I
you're
didn't,
the only one laughing.
but I didn't think that he was, like, hey. Like, I
So pushing up on a suitcase saying Sarah, 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 I can't breathe.
George has done that in the past before, too, where it's just like, he thinks that he's woe is me kind of thing, where it's like,
He's never been laughing.
Woe is me type thing. Like George is overreacting. She just said that. George is known to have woe is me.
I thought it was like crying wolf kind of thing.
I thought it was a crying wolf type kind of thing. Such a little evil, conniving.
I mean, to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this, but like it's like you guys are kind of trying to like feed me. Like,
No, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said.
well, I know what.
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
So,
Why don't you remember making the video?
probably because we had been drinking.
But you weren't drunk.
Just because I went upstairs and just because you're drunk doesn't mean that you.
So she denies being drunk, but she doesn't remember the video. Too many inconsistencies. This was all on purpose.
It's the drinking. I thought it was like I thought he was okay. Like I didn't.
Just because you're drunk doesn't mean you didn't murder anyone. Not how life works. She's trying to blame the drinking now.
That's how we are with each other. Like he is. Nobody understands our relationship. This whole suitcase thing. No.
It is not leading up. It's not matching what statement you gave us in the car.
So
and that's why we want to know.
And I don't
The injuries are not consistent with what you told us. So we have a lot of inconsistencies, and this video explains itself. It really truly does.
All right, that's pretty much it for day 2. Not a good day for Sarah. I mean, the jury seeing all this, she is so fucked. It's not even funny. Probably regretting not taking that plea deal and get out in 6 years. She's a fucking moron. Hit subscribe. Join the channel membership. Love you guys. Peace out.